What's up? I am Sputnik Head, and I have decided to diversify my channel a bit. I've tried it before, but no one watched that. Like literally, the only view on the video I'm talking about was a test view. Maybe if I do this in a way that allows me to tag someone bigger than I, on the off chance they may send peeps my way, it'll work better. A guy can hope, can't he? This could be a semi-regular thing on my channel, but don't expect it to become a focus. I don't want my channel to get too one-hat or shallow, and I don't want to get bored making my videos, so on to commentary! Don't go to the subject for the purpose of abuse or to otherwise bother them. The point of this video is to point out issues I see and hope that if the subject finds this vid, they will hear my words and improve themselves. Also, it's for funsies. YouTuber Joinen has made a video on an issue he sees in the platform's commentary community, the pyrocynical one, not the doodle tones one. Specifically, how negative it seems to be. So, Joinen, this is the first video of yours I've seen, and it's far from being the worst thing I've ever seen, but it has some issues. So I'm gonna practice commentating on you, okay? Too bad I'm doing it anyway. I'm gonna skip most of the beginning as it's just him introducing his subject matter and explaining what he means by commentary channel.
Somewhere, and we could take commentary channels way back, but I believe that this narrative starts with the Fupa King himself.
He goes on about how H3H3 changed for a solid minute. Used to be lighthearted, became more critical, as did their audience. Jumping forward a bit.
Get him, man.
This video was forced negativity on YouTube. Unfortunately, that's probably not clickbaity enough to get views, and people might not even know or remember the reference. So let me catch everyone up to speed. 2 years ago, back in early 2017, PewDiePie struck up a huge discussion in the YouTube community. This video...
He brings up PewDiePie's forced positivity video and watches it for a bit, as well as his old response to it. Throws in a bit of analysis about forced positivity as well. This takes nearly 3 minutes. The worst part is it could have been summed up with one sentence. A while ago, PewDiePie did a video about forced positivity on YouTube. Today I wish to speak of the opposite, forced negativity in the commentary community. Jumping forward.
What about you guys? We ain't found shit.
Obviously, there are some great points in this video. I mean, PewDiePie's video. Not my one. And as a creator, it is well worth paying attention to this. You never want to be faking it so bad that you hate yourself for what you're doing on YouTube. But the key point is, it goes both ways. I mean, there's a whole slew of new creators on the platform that have been inspired by H3H3 and channels alike. And not only has this new wave of commentary channels inspired other people to create commentary, it has literally created jobs for people who now do this for a living, including me. But while I believe the forced positivity that PewDiePie is talking about relates to vloggers and gamers and maybe some other subcategories, I think commentary specifically struggles with a forced negativity. The majority of commentary content takes a negative tone. That's not to say the person presenting it is putting on a negative persona. It's more the content itself. Sure, not all commentary.
It took 1/3 of your video's runtime, more than, in fact, to say that forced negativity is pervasive in the commentary community. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this type of commentary video is usually unscripted. You just use bullet points to organize your thoughts, right? I think you could have been a lot more concise, Joinen, because at this moment your video just seems unfocused.
Commentary content is negative. There's some positive commentary, and there's even some negative commentary that is completely justified. But to help me illustrate my point, let me show you. Let's take, for example, Danny Gonzalez.
He shows some of Danny's video on Tessa Brooks and talks about the sarcastic humor. I'm gonna hop to the next issue though.
Whoa, she turned me into a newt. A newt.
Pineapple, I have a whopper. Summer barbecue pineapple whopper.
Okay, wait, what? How dead of a meme can you make? How many years old is that meme? And that was an ad just now.
Summer barbecue pineapple whopper at Hungry Jack's.
That is way too many syllables.
She's always on.
Why did you leave that in? It has Nothing to do with what you're talking about, it's just an advert using a dead meme. It just feels like you padding out the length of your video because you couldn't think of enough to say. I want to try that Whopper, BT dubs.
Fine. I'll catch you on the flip side.
But while PewDiePie was complaining about false positivity on YouTube, you look anywhere in any section of the commentary community on YouTube and you will find 90-something% negative focused titles.
This skit shows an issue I have with a lot of this style of commentary channel. It's way too drawn out. I'm gonna cut to the actual joke.
Do you think is best? I'm doing a video. Okay, hit me. This vlogger is awesome. Man, this up-and-comer is gonna be the next big thing. I watch an amazing video for 10 minutes straight. How could this guy... I'm gonna stop you right there.
Why? What's wrong?
You like something? Huh? You're talking about something on YouTube and you like it.
Well, yeah, it's super cool. Have you seen this guy's channel?
One work, man. Well, how about this?
Yeah, I'm not sure that's gonna...
Oh, look. It's already got 1 million views. Huh?
At least he admits the sketch is lame. I'm gonna hold this in my back pocket though. He then goes on to name a bunch of negative sounding video titles, including some of his own. So,
Useless. Okay, it seems we cannot get away from negative subject matters in the commentary space on YouTube. Because, let me be clear, I am guilty of this too. Comedy is just easier when you don't rule out making fun of everything. It's not even inherently bad. Just having been in this situation, I can tell you from experience that commentary like this simply comes from one of two reasons. Not having enough actual stuff to talk about, or two, you
or, and hear me out here, this might be what they want to talk about. They're called commentary videos. Let's think about your sketch for a second. Your negatively minded character said talking about something you would like wouldn't work, but I don't think you fully grasp why it wouldn't work. While it is true you can talk about stuff you enjoy in the commentary format, there's only so much you can say. You can talk about why a video works or why you like a vlogger, but there's only so many ways to say this is awesome or you guys should check this out. If you talk about what you don't like, there's just so much more to say about it. The flaws that mar the potential, the specific reason you don't like it, and the people who did it better. When you talk about other YouTubers, you can tell them ways they could improve, or even the things you think they should focus on. As for the negative sounding titles, it's just a way to catch the eye of anyone who might see it. The motive for that ranges from commercialism to merely trying to prevent others from making the same mistakes. There isn't much you can say about something that's great, but when you talk about something that's bad, you can not only talk about what makes them bad, but how they could be good.
just a bit of a jerk. Giving the benefit of the doubt, I'd mostly assume that it's the first option. People will often mistake it for the second option. There's plenty of justifiable stuff to react negatively to, but if you get stuck in the system of having to release lots of videos very often, and if your audience expects you to be commentating on things all the time, you start running a little bit low on stuff to make fun of. So you end up doing the old things again, or making fun of stuff that maybe doesn't need to be made fun of. But
okay, I can see your point here. And you do say that they could feel pressured to upload daily, but they don't always have to be negative. And when they are negative, it is fully their choice to be so. Yeah, people make fun of stuff that doesn't need to be made fun of, but a lot of that humor is lighter than this implies. Not all of it, but a lot of it. Troom has been made fun of to hell and back for its presentation and the pranks and projects they have. I don't think most people get legit mad about it. For most commenters, commentarians, whatever, it's just an easy target for jokes. and a roundabout way to complain about aspects of YouTube.
Get him, man.
I wonder what he's been smoking.
This is to talk about others. In the early days of my channel, I made a video about the incels. And while I think it's an important topic that should be discussed, I did begin to notice how it shifted the tone of the discussion in my comments. And that is not just because of the incels themselves posted my videos on their forum, and so they all came running over to my channel, flaming with pure hatred. Just the types of discussion and the types of audience I was attracting wasn't exactly what I wanted, which was the turning point for me and the reason I started to pursue the whole wholesome brand.
Okay, so you did a video on a very, very negative group, and their negativity brought an audience and image you didn't want. I can understand that. However, this is not the same thing as any of the previous examples of negativity you've provided. That was a very touchy topic, one that I agree is important to discuss. And you are bringing it up in a video that mostly showed negative hyperbole and talking about YouTubers as though they were the same thing. Same type of negativity. It's really not a fair comparison, as they're really not the same thing. One is very bitter and sexually frustrated human beings. The other is slightly immature, but still very harmless, complaining and overthinking.
What about you guys? We ain't found shit.
Another video. Our job as YouTubers is to continue pushing out content. That means coming up with new ideas, and for commentators, new subjects of commentary. The constant pressure to keep releasing content means that we end up complaining about things that don't actually genuinely bother us. We're just creating content, sometimes at the expense of someone else.
There's always something to talk about on the internet, and like I said before, a lot of this complaining is in a joking manner. I'll also say that there's more things I dislike and can explain why than things I like and can explain why. That's just me though, so don't assume this is true of everyone. I am actually a fairly angry person.
In this area on YouTube, complaining or critiquing something ends up more entertaining than just gushing and loving on something. So it breeds this environment of forced negativity. So it's
If a channel was constantly gushing over things they loved, they would not only run out of things to say, but they would get annoying to some people. Discussing things you dislike can have more drama attached, yes, but also there's generally more to say, more to look at, and you can still mix the good with the bad. He goes on to say a lot that I can't wholly disagree with, and mentions how he still enjoys the content he mentioned here, and how this is really just a discussion piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and do final thoughts. Joinen, I don't hate your video. That said, I don't like it either. The biggest problem I think it actually has is a problem of pace. I get that you didn't want to just seem like a rant, but it still kind of did. It took the entire first third of your video to even really vocalize what the video was about, and other parts of your video took way more time than they should have without adding anything to the conversation. The amount of time you spent on the PewDiePie video, your examples, the goddamn pin pineapple apple pin ad, and that sketch just felt like padding. And it didn't help get your point across as well as you hoped. The tangent about your old incel video and starting your wholesome brand was bringing apples to an orange grove. And you failed to think about why there may be so much more negative content outside of just easy jokes. I don't wholly disagree with you by any means. That's why I don't want my channel to just be a commentary channel, though I do want it to be part of my charm. But your video doesn't bring up anything more than negativity bad, be more positive. And that's not the right mentality either, in my opinion. In short, I would personally say less padding and a more nuanced view of the issue would be a lot better. I'm outie.